This M1816 musket may look similar to the M1795 and to the Charleville, but there are actually a few notable differences. One that's immediately obvious is that the stock is longer, because this was designed for a more bladed up shooting stance, a bit like this, whereas earlier muskets were designed to be fired in more of a squared up stance like that, so they tended to have shorter stocks. You'll also notice that it has different manufacturing marks because the M1816 was the first US musket to be subcontracted to other manufacturers outside of Springfield. You'll notice on many of these early muskets that there are two nubs on the top of the barrel toward the muzzle end. This brass colored one here is the front sight. The second piece here, attached directly to the barrel, is the bayonet lug. This is an example of an M1819 Hall Rifle, the first breechloader the US military ever adopted. Now you'll note that unlike the previous muskets we looked at, this one actually has a receiver at the back. This is because unlike those, it wasn't loaded from the muzzle end, but instead from the breech end, hence breechloader, of course. Now, why didn't these become mainstream? The manufacturing methods of the day were really not up to the task of creating a perfectly tight seal between the breech end of the barrel and the front of the chamber. So there was always gas leakage out of that gap there. And the rifles were also much, much more expensive to produce than the simple muskets to which they were contemporary. This one was later converted to use percussion caps, but the early ones were actually flintlocks. This trigger-shaped piece here is what's used to open the breech for reloading. Now, the fact that this was a breech loader allowed for the effective rate of fire of the individual marksman to go up from about 2 to 3 rounds per minute with a typical musket to 9 rounds per minute. So that's an effective tripling of the Marine's rate of fire, and he could be much more accurate because of the rifled barrel.